and welcome to the Guide My Journey business series. My name is Daniela Genus, and in this series I'll be sharing tips and pieces of advice in response to questions I've had from business owners and entrepreneurs. Today's question: I hate networking, but I've been told that in order to grow my business, I have to. Is this true? Yes, it is true. So many people say that they hate networking, and actually what they're referring to is one particular type of networking that I myself hate. You know what it is. You go into a room, there's 100 or so people, you kind of scan the room and look for somewhere that looks kind of interesting and not too hostile. You spot a guy sitting over at the water fountain, playing with his phone, looking like he feels as awkward as you do. So you go over, you introduce yourself, you tell him what you do. He tells you he makes widgets. And he spends 30 minutes telling you all about the wonderful, fascinating world of widgets, which you have absolutely no interest in, but you don't want to be rude, so you humour him, and he talks your ear off. Your business provides event management, specifically creative event management. There's no correlation between what you do and what he does. He has no interest in hiring an event manager. He just wants to talk about widgets. After 30 minutes, he finally leaves you and walks away, and just as he does, another gregarious lady jumps in front of you, introduces herself, and tells you all about her business. She runs a successful logistics company. Again, doesn't really have any correlation with what you do, but maybe she needs an event. Just as you start to introduce yourself and what you do, she starts looking over your shoulder. You can see she's not really paying attention to what you're saying. And even though you try to keep her engaged, you can see she's looking around you. And before you even finish your sentence, she apologizes, shouts to the person behind you, and she's off. There's somebody more important in the room that she wanted to speak to. She wasn't really interested in you. That's the kind of networking that people usually are talking about when they say they hate networking. And I hate that kind of networking myself. But that's not what networking is. That's a type of networking. Instead of that kind of networking, I focus on my own style of networking. And there's several things that I do. Attending themed events. So not necessarily themed events with like toga parties or anything like that, but events that focus on specific areas of interest. So an event that I went to recently, for example, was focused on developing young entrepreneurs through mentoring. By doing that, I know everybody in that room, whatever their background, whatever their job role, whatever the business they may run, is interested in some capacity in mentoring young people in an entrepreneurial sector. It makes it much easier because it provides a common topic. When I go to speak to someone, oh, are you a mentor? Are you an entrepreneur? There's a common topic that can help break the ice. And I just find that so much nicer than going into a room to do cold networking with random people from disparate backgrounds. And if I'm not able to make any valuable contacts, at the very least, I would have been entertained by any of the speakers that were speaking at said event. Taking people for coffee. I personally hate coffee, but many people love it. And so I get in contact with people that I want to build a connection with and offer to take them out for coffee. I personally will drink hot chocolate, but that's a separate issue entirely. And this enables me to have a one-to-one time with them without the pressures of other people bombarding the conversation or without them looking around the room for somebody more interesting to speak to. And as long as you're very specific with the reasons that you want to build a connection with this person and you're not just taking out random people for coffee, then it can create some really good friendships and relationships. Speaking at events, I am a very strange individual. I hate, as I've said, going to those kind of networking events where you have to go and handshake people and introduce yourself, because I'm kind of shy, although you probably wouldn't believe it, but I am. I don't really like going up to people and speaking to them. What I do like, however, is standing on a stage and speaking to audiences, which is probably why I find recording these videos not that intimidating. I don't mind that. And because of that, something I used to do, specifically when I started my first business, I would put myself forward to speak at many events. And what would happen is I would stand up, I would speak, and as long as you give a good presentation, once you finished and start to mingle in the after part of an event, people will come to you. So it completely cuts out this kind of nervous awkwardness of you going over to speak to people. Because instead people will come and speak to you to ask about what you've spoken about or to congratulate you on a good presentation. So if you don't mind speaking in front of an audience, that's also a good way to start to build relationships. And obviously making sure that you follow up if you do exchange cards with people is really important. Double up. Attend events with a colleague or with a friend who's not as nervous as you or who's not so averse to networking. Get them to introduce you to people. I used to do this all the time with one of my friends who also worked for me, and we'd go to events together. I would identify people at the events that I wanted to speak to. We'd both go over. She would do the kind of, hi, my name is so-and-so, and then she'd say, this is Daniela, who is the CEO of X, Y, and Z organization. And that would break the ice. It means that I don't have to do that awkward kind of, hi, hello, my name is Daniela, because she would do it for me. And it didn't work every single time, because sometimes still people would be looking over my shoulder for somebody more interesting. But it just made it less stressful for me because I hated it and she wasn't that fussed either way. Finally, join a membership organisation. So whatever your industry is, they may be a professional body, they could be a group that meets up every fortnight or every week or something. Join the local chambers. There's a variety of membership organisations available for many different industries. Join one. And what that will enable you to do is, whoever runs the membership organisation or the body, you can ask them to introduce you to other members. And again, it gives you a point of commonality because you're all part of this same industry or this same group. And also, they will probably hold events. You can go to the events, and after a while, you start to build up contacts within the group, and then you've got somebody else to go to other events with. So I personally think that that's also a really easy way to start to build contacts without it being too intimidating. And for all of these ideas that I've given you, make sure that you always follow up. There will be a video shortly about how to manage your relationships, your business relationships effectively. But first and foremostly, anybody that you meet who you think could be a good contact, don't wait for them to contact you. You contact them and make sure that you thank them for their time if you've met them and took them for coffee or something, and keep them updated on new developments within your business. I'm Daniela Genus. Thanks for watching. If you have any ways that you network that I've not included that you think are good for people that don't like networking, please leave them in the comment box. If you found this video useful, please click like and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.